You clearly do not like this guy.
I've noticed a lot of comments on some of Josh's TikToks and some of his posts, and I just want to let you guys know that this is really, processing this and going through this is a really emotional time. And
I guess I could tell the story of my wedding. So I get married to my wife, and so we have like this small wedding, and the dirty little secret, I guess, was like, I knew that Drake and I didn't stay in touch for the 10 years since we had made the show, but no one needed to know that.
In a world where friendships crumble and secrets unravel, one Hollywood feud has captured the attention of millions.
The trauma and abuse behind one of Nickelodeon's most popular kids shows exposed.
Get ready for some serious drama. Drake Bell is not holding back as he calls out his former co-star Josh Peck for staying silent in exchange for cash. It's a showdown you won't want to miss.
I knew he was going to do something to someone.
The situation in Hollywood is getting out of hand as Drake Bell has just stepped forward to spill the beans about his experience while working on the set of Nickelodeon. Not only that, but he also accused Josh Peck of allegedly receiving large sums of money from Hollywood elites to keep their secrets.
You will forever have the memory of sitting in this courtroom and defending this person. And I will forever have the memory of the person you're defending violating me.
Now, if you're a Nickelodeon fan, you must remember their iconic duo. However, the transition from being a dynamic duo to becoming frenemies was quite the journey for Drake Bell and Josh Peck. Their rise to fame began with the premiere of the hit Nickelodeon sitcom Drake and Josh in 2004. Throughout 4 seasons and 2 made-for-TV movies, they portrayed 2 opposite teens who, as stepbrothers, found themselves reluctantly sharing a room. While both 30 years old, Bell and Peck were friends during filming. However, after wrapping the series in 2007, the pair seemed to have drifted apart. Things became intense when Bell wasn't invited to Peck's June 2017 wedding to Paige O'Brien, which led him to express his feelings on Twitter, hinting that he was upset. In a deleted tweet, Drake wrote, "True colors have come out today. Ties are officially cut. I'll miss you, brother." Many fans wondered what went wrong between the two. However, the recent news has come as a shock to fans. Now, Drake Bell has spilled big tea about what went wrong between both of them, and fans are anything but impressed. Former Nickelodeon star, now 37 years old, has made his first public statement in Investigation Discovery's new docuseries, Quiet on Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV, revealing allegations of abuse he endured at the age of 15. In the series, Bell claimed that Brian Peck, who's not related to Josh Peck, abused him as a child while working as a dialect coach for Nickelodeon. In the midst of the emotional fallout, Josh Peck faced online backlash from former fans of the show who were disappointed by his decision not to release a public statement in support of Bell. The Drake and Josh actors appear to have been unintentionally pitted against each other by devoted fans of Bell's. This follows Peck's posting a TikTok video on Monday, in which he lip-synced, "If I haven't talked to you since 2023, take that as a sign that you don't exist to me anymore." The clip has garnered over 10.5 million views, sparking a flurry of comments from viewers questioning why Bell is posting videos instead of addressing the revelations. Amidst the growing hostility from fans, Bell took to TikTok to address the situation. Given the strong person Bell is, in a video, he politely requested that fans take it a little easy on Josh Peck. He said, "I've noticed a lot of comments on some of Josh's TikToks and some of his posts, and I just want to let you guys know that processing this and going through this is a really emotional time, and a lot of it is very, very difficult."
I've noticed a lot of comments on some of Josh's TikToks and some of his posts, and I just want to let you guys know that this is really, processing this and going through this is a really emotional time, and a lot of it's very, very difficult.
Brian Peck served as a dialogue coach on Nickelodeon's All That and The Amanda Show. Bell was a cast member on the latter show from 1999 to 2002, before landing the lead role in his own Nickelodeon series, Drake and Josh, alongside Josh Peck. Nickelodeon's executive producer, Dan Schneider, has addressed the allegations made in the documentary. Quiet on Set documented the alleged abuses involving several Nickelodeon staffers, with Brian Peck prominently featured in multiple episodes. At the time, aged 43, the former dialect coach was arrested in 2003 and subsequently convicted in 2004 for a lewd act against a child and oral copulation of a teen. Bell revealed himself as the victim in the documentary and recounted Brian Peck's sentencing. Bell said, "I get to the courthouse. It was the most unbelievable thing I'd ever seen. His entire side of the courtroom was full. There were definitely some recognizable faces on that side of the room. And my side was me, my mom, and my brother." Following the release of Bell's allegations in the documentary on March 17th and 18th, several of Josh Peck's Instagram posts have been bombarded with comments from users, expressing frustration over his perceived silence. Josh has previously addressed his relationship with Bell, acknowledging that they are no longer friends. He said, "We were kids, right? Obviously there were times when we were closer than not, but when inevitably the show ended, we were just totally different kids. We were just totally different kids." However, supporting someone during their tough times doesn't necessarily require you to be friends with them. Many fans have been speculating that Josh has been involved in some kinds of activities, because of which he has chosen not to speak up in Bell's favor. To be honest, this does seem fishy, doesn't it? In addition, the situation got intense when Drake claimed that Drake Bell revealed that despite the support shown for the Nickelodeon acting coach who abused him at 15, none of those individuals have taken the initiative to apologize directly to him. But before that, more than 40 people, including Peck's family, friends, and prominent Hollywood figures, penned letters of support for the Nickelodeon staffer. These heartfelt letters aim to provide a compassionate view of the defendant in a criminal case, offering insights before sentencing.
Brian had been convicted, but getting all of this support from a lot of people in the industry, and I was pretty shocked.
By now, y'all get to know whom you cannot trust and who you can. But in Drake Bell's case, it seems like he can't trust anyone in the industry. According to Bell, none of the letter writers, including James Marsden, Growing Pains stars Joanna Kearns, and Boy Meets World stars Will Friedle and Ryder Strong, have reached out to offer private apologies since then. Bell said, "I haven't gotten an apology or a sorry from anybody that had written letters or was involved in supporting him at all." Drake Bell also informed that he did not know about the letters supporting the Nickelodeon acting coach until Maxine Productions, one of the producers of the documentary series, asked the court to reveal them. "I learned that later there were multiple people that had supported him that went on to work on my show, Drake and Josh." Like any person would feel hurt and saddened by these actions, Bell's feelings weren't any different. Drake and Josh aired for 4 seasons from 2004 to 2007. Bell mentioned that during that time, he had no idea that many of the crew members he worked closely with on the show had strongly supported Peck. Bell said, "I worked with these people every day, and I thought they were my friends," he said. "They were people in positions of power. They were my bosses. They were directors. They were producers," he further said. I had no idea that for 4 years, I was working alongside people who had supported him and probably in the back of their mind were thinking of me in a certain way. And I thought they were my friends. You know what they say, expectations hurt the most. But when you can't even expect from the people you've worked with for almost 4 years, what can you expect from your friends? Many fans have been arguing that these letters were written for their benefit. To some extent, this doesn't seem untrue. However, in a revealing podcast episode last month, several actors from Boy Meets World, where Brian Peck made a guest appearance, shared their thoughts. They confessed to declining participation in the documentary and expressed regret for initially supporting Peck without fully grasping the seriousness of the allegations against him. Nickelodeon also expressed their grief over the situation, saying, "Now that Drake Bell has disclosed his identity as the plaintiff in the 2004 case, we were dismayed and saddened to learn of the trauma he has endured, and we commend and support the strength required to come forward." Although Peck has spoken up about his experience while working with Bell, he has stated that he doesn't regret the time he spent with Bell. However, he opted to remain silent about the situation Bell went through during those years. He said, "Maybe I would have thought twice about having my awkward teenage years air in reruns. But the reality is that from Drake and Josh to everything I've done since then, I'm very proud to have made families happy. I feel incredibly lucky to be 36 and still working and doing something that I love." It seems like the feud between Drake Bell and Josh Peck has engaged audiences and ignited debates across social media platforms. Bell's alleged accusations against Peck for staying silent in exchange for money have sparked intense scrutiny and divided opinions among fans. As the drama continues to unfold, one thing remains certain: the fallout from their once close friendship will continue to be a topic of discussion in the public eye. Only time will tell if reconciliation is possible or if this Hollywood saga will deepen its divide. It's obvious that a lot of fans have sided with Drake, a user stated. "He got paid not to say anything," another user stated. Drake asking people to not leave Josh hate when Josh never bothered to do the same for Drake really shows their characters. That's it for today's video, guys. Let us know in the comments section what you think about the situation. See you next time. Bye.